What's up, everybody? It's me, Scott Walker, your friend, host of the TKO podcast, and I'm here just checking in with you guys, just seeing what's going on. Just gonna tell you what I've been up to lately, and just talk about shit I've been thinking about, like we do on all the other episodes. Does that sound fun? Yeah. If I recorded this in front of a live studio audience. I have one cat in here. My black cat, Baby, is with us on the pod today. She's sitting across the room, but she's looking at me. So she's not going to be contributing to the pod. But she's here. And she brings good vibes. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. So, what we've been up to since the last episode. I did 2 open mics last week, and then I went to the let's keep it comedy. Let's do comedy first, and then let's do other stuff, and then maybe some training stuff. I don't know. But last week I just did 3. No. Yeah, I did 2 open mics. Our open mics here in town are dope though, because I do like 8 minutes at least on both of them. So I got like 15 to 16 minutes in last week, which is actually kind of slow for what we've been doing. Like from in the month of May, I was like consistently doing over half an hour a week. Like, we also only had 2 shows because there was a showcase on Monday. So I would have done another 10 last week if it was a open mic, because I did 10 last night at that place. But I wasn't on the showcase there. So I would have had like 25 minutes in last week if it was like the usual schedule. But yeah, we've been consistently getting a handful of reps and over 30 minutes of comedy, like pretty consistently. So we're staying pretty busy. But I wasn't mad about just having 15 minutes is plenty. Kind of wanted a chill week. But Wednesday went really good. I had like a really good set. And I was actually like kind of nervous before that one. I went for like a little walk. Cause I even said, I was like, man, I haven't bombed lately. I feel like I'm due for a rough set. Like a earned bomb. But I've just been pretty consistent with like, even if like the crowd's dead or I'm not hitting, it's not like I still get mine. Like I'm still gonna get something out of you. It's not gonna be terrible. But I just sometimes, if I look back on like my performance for a period of time, I'll be like, damn, I think I'm due for a rough set. Just something that kind of creeps into my mind, which you shouldn't think about. Kind of jinxing yourself. That's what someone told me. I said that to my dad after he asked about how Wednesday night went, because I brought my brother Greg. Shout out Greg. But yeah, he asked how it went. I was like, it went great. And I was like, I really haven't had like a bad set in a while. But I feel like it's coming. But no, I was like nervous before the show on Wednesday, and I even like told one of my buddies, Bryce, was working the door, and maybe I told Bryson also, similar names, Bryce and Bryson. Bryson runs the show there. But I told him, I was like, hey, I'm gonna go for a little walk just for like 1 minute to clear my mind, because I was first up, and like Bryson was literally about to start his host set, and I just walked the parking lot for just a second, did a couple deep breaths, just to center myself, to feel in control. And then I just thought about that Allen Iverson video where he talks about that I brought up on like maybe the second or third episode, where he's like, I'm gonna go to war, I'm gonna fight, I'm gonna do some shit that's wrong, and I'm gonna do some shit that's right. I'm not gonna do it right all the time. Even Michael Jordan, the greatest player in the world, he didn't do it right all the time, but he tried. He gave his best effort, and that's all you can ask for. So whenever I'm feeling like kind of stressed out and like, because I'm like really hard on myself about fucking everything, um, that quote kind of helps me be like, hey, you're not the best player in the world. All that matters is, hey, you go out there and give it your fucking best effort. You're not. This isn't. This is supposed to be for fun. So I don't know why you're getting so stressed out or freaked out about it. You do this for fun. You do this multiple times a week. You do it for hours of stage time a month. So this is your hobby. Stop getting stressed out about it. Netflix isn't waiting to call you based on how you do at this open mic. But it's just I don't know, I'm naturally hard on myself, so. But that was one of the better sets I've had in a while. It's definitely set of the month so far. But and Thursday was our Thursday room was just that's a weird room to figure out. It's notoriously a hard room. I didn't bomb, but a lot of people are getting tough reps on Thursday. The week before, it was a tough room, and I actually did pretty fucking good at it because I was fucking around and making people laugh by being silly. But this time, I kept on bouncing back in between clean material and dirty material because I had like 2 different sets planned, and I like had them choose. I was like, "Which one do you guys want, clean or dirty?" And they chose dirty, and I was like, "All right." I kind of wanted to do clean, and then they didn't really like. I don't know. And then like after a couple jokes, I was like, "Fuck you guys, I'm doing clean." And I bounced over and did like a couple clean. And I kept on. I was like, I kind of like this bouncing back and forth. So I would just kind of like switch sets, trying out clean and dirty stuff, and it was just kind of a weird dynamic. And that room is just our Thursday room is a weird one, man. We don't like really do showcases with out of town headliners there because we can't get like the only times we've been able to get mad numbers there is when we do like a band show, a local band show. So it's like music and comedy. But then a lot of the crowd's there for music, and they're not really like. Sometimes they're fucking chill though, and they like the comedy. But there's always going to be a handful of people in that crowd that just wants to see the band. So it's kind of weird. All 3 of my cats are in here and they're fucking around now. They're jumping in and out of cardboard boxes. It's mayhem right now. But yeah, I call our Thursday room like a gauntlet. I was like, just get what you can out of it. Get some solid pops and go about the week. It's such a fun room. Like, it's a sick room, and it has like a balcony area that's fucking dope. It's my favorite place to hang at out of all of our 3 local spots. It's definitely the dopest hang setup. But all 3 of our spots are pretty cool. So that was the comedy of last week, and then this week we had an open mic last night. Did 10 there. Tomorrow there's a showcase I'm featuring on for the headliner is there's 2 Atlanta comics on it, a headliner and a feature. And the headliner is an Atlanta comic named Plug Chapman. And he was the host at the first Laughing Skull show I ever did. He introduced me up on stage, and I did that was my first set in Atlanta. That's the first time my friends saw me do comedy, and my sister and my half brother. And that's where I got the viral clip Chiggers was from that recording. I was like 6 months into comedy. Yeah. And I don't tell that joke anymore. and you'd have to watch the clip to guess why. There's a lot of tension built up in that joke. You want to talk about building tension, brother? We haven't even. You don't even know the meaning of tension. I was born in it, molded by it. Chigger's tension is a whole nother level. So yeah, he introduced me, and then like after I closed with the Chigger's joke, he actually came back on stage. He was like, I was in the back, and I could still see all the black people's faces in the crowd. And he's like, "Nah, give it up for Scott, man." So, because it went good. The room was like, it's a misdirection where I get the crowd to think I'm about to say the N word, and it's very built up. If you're not familiar with this joke, and the crowd was predominantly black, and it was my first time in a real comedy club. I'm like, hold on, it was September. I was 4 months into comedy. I started May 5th, and this was September 6th. I was 4 months into comedy, and I strolled up into a comedy club and got a predominantly black audience to think I was going to say the N-word, and then I hit them with a misdirection, and they cracked up. They thought it was funny as shit. But that was about the best that joke has ever gone. So I'm just glad I got that on tape. It happened, and did it in Atlanta, my hometown, and in front of my sister, my brother-in-law, in front of my friends. It's the first time all of them have seen me do comedy. 4 months in a real comedy club, my first set in a comedy club, where I saw Big J Okerson at that comedy club. One of my legends. And I passed the test in front of a black audience with a joke that's like playing with a hand grenade. So, but yeah, Plug Chapman was the host, and I'm featuring for him tomorrow. He probably doesn't remember me. I think I've talked to him a couple times. He might remember me, maybe not. Probably sees a lot of comics. But I think he hosted for me another time. And I talked to him backstage one time because this lady in front of me was like running the light. And she was like, I'm just going to keep talking until they play the music. Because at the Laughing Skull open mic, if you run over your time, if you go like a significant amount over 4 minutes, they play "Move, Bitch, Get Out the Way" by Ludacris to play you off. All right, cats, you gotta give me some time to record a pod. I mean, this is crazy. I'm trying to climb up on the fucking laptop. But yeah, at the Laughing Skull, if you go like significantly over your, because they only give you 4 minutes. So if you're at like 4:15 plus, that music's coming. I think the first time I did it, it was like 4 minutes on the dot. Like every time I've done it, it's been within 4 minutes to like 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Like I'm pretty good about milking all of that 4 minutes that I can without going over. But yeah, I don't want to get played off to Ludacris saying "Move, bitch, get out of the way" when I'm trying to like wrap up a closing joke. That's a nightmare. Also, 4 minutes is, I mean, you can only really do so much in 4 minutes, which was good for me in the time frame that I used to do that. But like after being like 2 years in, like in the first year of comedy, that's good. You should be writing new material, and you should be able to do like 4 or 5 minute sets. That's normal. But if I'm going out of town, it has to be for more than 4 or 5 minutes. That's not enough. But yeah, I'm featuring for Plug Chapman. Sorry to get off track. Just calling up a memory. And then there's a showcase the day after on Thursday in the Gauntlet Irish Bread Pub. It's gonna be a fun hang though. We've been getting some new people out in the scenes too, and that's always good because new people will always bring like they'll invite some of their buddies, so you also get like the new comic is a new audience member and his buddies are new audience members. So they usually bring a handful of comics. They're like, "Hey, I'm going to try doing comedy the first time. Come and support," which is crazy because I didn't invite anyone. I still try not to invite anyone. In fact, tomorrow, my oldest brother's father-in-law said he might come to the show. And he's been telling me he wants to come to a show, and I guess that's cool. But I just prefer to not see people I know. But yeah. It's cool when I go to Atlanta, though, and my homies, like my high school best friends, pull up because at least I get to like hang with them before and after. And it's always a good set when they're there because I'm like, I'm also in a good mood. It kind of makes me a little bit nervous beforehand. I'm like, damn, what if I have like one of those rough sets? And they're like, damn, Scott's been doing comedy a lot, and he just sucked tonight. But no, thankfully, every time they come out, it's good. It's good, a good rep. My dad, my most viral clip, my dad was that's the only time my dad was at a show. You got to see the closer that has over 2 million views. So that's pretty dope. My mom came to one and that was a rough go. That was literally my first year of comedy. That was a month before my first Laughing Skull set. I just got back from my like wedding vacation with my wife. We went to the beach for the weekend, and my mom was pulling up to like one of my first I think it was my second showcase ever, and my mom was coming, so I was nervous, and I was like, I'm just gonna do all clean material. But I was literally 3 months into comedy. I had dog shit. All my jokes were pretty much dog shit, and to even limit it to clean material was almost impossible because my clean material was even more dog shit. And it wasn't like it wasn't a bomb, but it was a not a great set. I'd say it was a bad set. I might have got a few chuckles, but I was nervous because my mom was there. I was like, she's gonna see her little boy saying naughty things. Uh, Excuse me, sorry. But so yeah, showcases tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then next week I'm featuring again on Monday for a comic out of Atlanta named Will Foskey. He was a funny guy. He had a special. He has a YouTube special out that was recorded at the Laughing Skull, and he's dope. He was looking for places to do, and I sent sent his message to a couple people that book shows. I was like, this guy's dope, and then they just threw me on with him. Which we need to get the flyer for that because I need to share that because we need to get people there. He's doing an hour, so preferably we have some people in the crowd for his hour. If we don't get the flyer out until the day of, it's not good. No. We'll probably have a flyer here in a day or so. There's going to be people there. People are going to be having a good time. Big shows coming up. Wednesday, July 9th. Going back to Capri Theater in Montgomery. I think it's a 200-seater. It's either 100. I think it's 100. No way, it's 200. I can't remember. It's pretty big, actually. Maybe it's somewhere between 100 to 200. It's one or the other. Maybe it's 150. I don't know. It's a big theater though. Me and a handful of my buddies are doing a theater show. It's me, Jasper Cruz, JD McKenna, Bryson, Burn, and Dun Dun. But that's going to be a fun time. July 9th. A theater show. My second theater show. We did one a year ago? A year and 2 months ago? I think. Yeah. And that was my first time in a theater. There was 2 different comedy shows that night. One started at like 7, one started at 9. And I was the first comic on the 7 o'clock show. So I was the first one to do a set after Jasper Cruz did his host set. But I was the one to intro the show. And it was good. It was like towards the end of my first year of comedy, so I'm a lot better now. But I did all right. I did about as good as a first year comic does in a theater, I would say. But hopefully the second time around we can if we can move the same amount of tickets or more, that'd be awesome. I think we've got the setup better this time, doing only one show, less comics, and I think we lowered the ticket price like $5. I mean, the ticket price is $20. It's still pretty high, but with a coupon code, it's 15. It's $5 off. So you're gonna want to use that coupon code. Mine is Scott W, all caps. If you're interested in coming to Montgomery, Alabama on July 9th. And the good thing about that show is it's a week before my show in Austin, Texas, where I'm flying out Wednesday and performing that night and then flying back Thursday. Hungover, most likely. So July is going to be a very fun month. May was slammed, and also my first comedy festival on that. There's a lot of traveling. I drove like the equivalent of driving to California during the month of May just for comedy. I spent like 30 hours in the car just for comedy, something like that. That was nuts. So it was a lot. April was kind of busy too, but June is pretty chill. I'm doing a lot of showcases in town. I got, a handful. Got 3 in the next week at 3 different venues here in town. Each of them is only like 10 minutes away. That's perfect. I don't have to drive that far. But then July is going to be pretty dope. Because the first week is 4th of July. I'm going to my best buddy's lake house, the homie Grant Kelly, hanging out with my best friends from my childhood, all the way from middle school up to high school into college to current day. That's the homies. That's the day ones. So I'm not sure what all my buddies are going to be there, because my buddy Danny moved to New York, so I don't think he's going to be there. My buddy John DeFrank, he might be there. He lives kind of like west. He lives in like Dallas, Georgia, which is like kind of far. I still live further, but I don't know if he has plans. I think he has a child on the way. I mean, so he might be preoccupied. I think it's like due within the next couple months. I thought he said August or September, maybe. So it might be, he might have duties he needs to attend to, which is understandable. But regardless, I mean, it's definitely gonna be me, my buddy Grant, and my buddy Connor. So we're gonna have a great time. Those are the guys who I went to the UFC with last weekend. We'll get back to that. No, we're talking just about comedy right now. But yeah, so But we're also talking about the schedule. So the first week, July 4th, from like the 3rd, I think the 4th is a Friday. So I'm driving up the 3rd on Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, and then drive back Sunday to Auburn. So raging with the homies for the weekend, celebrating America, just doing American shit. 1776. Just a couple Patriots. Get drunk, getting fucked up, making each other laugh, telling stories, making jokes, cracking jokes, good riffs. So, starting off July with just a dope ass party. Partying at the lake house. And then a couple days after I get back, that the what's it called? That's the Capri Theater show on July 9th. That's the big show that second week, and then a week after that, flying out to Austin, Texas to do the Creek in the Cave. Bangers. And then the the last weekend, the 25th through the 27th, I rented out uh a couple of the homies rented out it's called a fucking lake house on Lake Martin over here near Auburn. I think it's like 30 minutes away, maybe, or 40, I don't know. But it's kind of in the middle of Columbus and Birmingham, where like the guys that were talking about it, it's like in the middle of them, so I think that works out. So like a couple of comics are gonna hang out at this lake house. It's like Travis Johnson from Birmingham and like Tyler Fomby from Montgomery, Charlie Guerrero, John Fitzpatrick, and Reevy Wonder from Columbus. Those three are from Columbus. And then I forget who all was talking about it. And then like me, maybe like Bryson Byrne, JD McKenna, and maybe James Young. I don't know if he's coming out or not from the Auburn area. I think we can only fit like 10 to 12. It says it sleeps like 11 or 12, but there's 6 beds. So there's like a handful of couch spots. So those would kind of blow. But I was in the original talks of the 6. I think the original talks were between me, Tyler Fomby, Travis Johnson, Charlie Guerrero, Reeve Wonder, and John Fitzpatrick. So those 6 that were in the original discussion of this have rights to beds. And then whoever else comes. The rest that are coming, I think, are also from Auburn, though, so they'll probably just crash on the couch. But if anyone like didn't get too fucked up, they could just like drive back to their house that night. But I figured they would probably drink and just sleep on a couch. So I think there's a handful of couches. So that's gonna be fun. That's the last weekend of July, sorry. And then who the fuck knows what we're doing in August? Haven't got there yet. We got to get through June and July. I'll start looking more into August after I get done with all of this. Okay. So, damn. 30 minutes and we only talked about comedy the whole time. Seems to be how this goes. I just start ranting about comedy. That's what happens when you get home from work and you eat a Farm Bill compliant, legal, low dose THC gummy, THC with CBD, 10 milligrams THC, 10 milligrams CBD, made by Cornbread Hemp. And then you start a load of laundry and you jump rope for 10 minutes. And then you shower and then you start a podcast. That's a formula to ranting for 30 minutes about comedy. I was hoping to get into some other stuff. I kind of wanted to talk about the training thing, the training schedule I've been on. Or maybe I can just go. I was trying to keep these episodes shorter now and only do like half an hour because I used to force myself to do an hour. But I guess I'll just keep talking. You know, I'll get dinner later on. I'm not even that hungry right now. But I wanted to talk about. I went to the UFC. I went to UFC Atlanta this weekend with my day ones, Grant Kelly and Connor Wheelton, and it was an awesome card. This is my second time being to a UFC event. The first one I went to was Alex Pereira versus Israel Adesanya, their first championship match in the UFC at UFC 281 at Madison Square Garden in New York City. Not bragging, but I was there. I was cage side, and it was amazing. There's also a video of me screaming as Pereira gets the finish in the 5th round that my wife was recording. It's not a video of me, but you can hear me screaming. Like everyone's making a lot of noise, but I can specifically hear myself yelling, "Let's go." I was fucked up, and I was like, this is the happiest moment I've ever had as a combat sports fan. So I spent stupid money on those tickets. Those tickets were like, for me and my wife, this is at cage side, I think it was over $6,000. It might have been like 6,500 or 6,600, and that's actually a decent price for like first, second row seats. I've seen higher. I got them at a good deal, I think. But when I was sitting in the arena, I was like, damn, these people that are in like the lower section, it is really cool being like, I mean, that close. Like you can really, I mean, the vibes of the impacts are crazy. And like seeing it that close, it's intimidating. But I think the best seats price wise are the lower bowl. So it's like the not sitting on the floor of the arena, but like somewhere in like the middle or even upper. It kind of depends on what arena we're talking about, but like a handful of rows up. Like I was in Atlanta, we were section 113, row N, which I guess is like 13 or 14. I don't know where it is. Wherever N is in the alphabet, that's probably the number of rows up we were, if I had to guess. So yeah, you want to be like a handful of rows up. So you get a little bit of an elevation to where you can see over, like you kind of have a little bit of a bird's eye view. Not a bird's eye view, but like an elevated view, you know what I'm saying? Because when you are cage side, there are certain parts where the fight gets blocked by like a cage post, and it's a lot easier from the lower level to see the jumbotron or whatever the fuck you call it, the screen above the ring. Because a lot of times I was sitting cage side and I'd catch myself just looking straight up and at the fight video on the scoreboard, basically, or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying anymore. But you want to be in the lower bowl. Those tickets were like $400 after fees. Perfect. If I could go back in time, I'd be like, hey, don't spend $6,000. Actually, you know what? I wouldn't change a thing. That was worth it. It was worth getting financially devastated. So I remember when I bought the tickets, I got like a raise. I was thinking about buying tickets, and then I just got told that I was getting a raise, and I was like, that's a sign. We're fucking dropping cheese on tickets. Um, for my first experience, that was the coolest way to do it for sure. And it was for like my favorite rivalry in combat sports history. Like two of my all-time favorite fighters. Such a fucking high level striking match, and it fucking delivered. And that was voted as the best card of the year. Um, at the end of the year, they do like a card of the year award, and it was UFC 281. So I was like, fuck yeah, I knew it. I knew it, dude. But the Atlanta card was dope. The prelims were amazing. I thought the prelims like delivered way harder than the main card, honestly. And one thing that made me happy about Atlanta is we got there during like the second fight. We missed the first fight, and the stands were packed. I was like, this is actually crazy. Um, I was like, usually people are not here this early because like when I went to I went to a pay-per-view card, the best card of the year, stacked top to bottom in New York, and it was like you even see this on TV during the first few fights. A lot of the arenas are usually like fucking just empty, and it's kind of crazy. Like if you spend a good amount of money on tickets, I want to go for the full experience, you know. But we were kind of late getting there, and I wasn't mad that we missed the first fight. That was a very missable fight. Um, but when I got there, I was like, holy shit, it's fucking packed in here for how early it is in the card. And the guy in front of me was like, I've been to countless UFCs since like he went to like one of the first UFCs ever. I can't remember which one he said, but it was like when they were doing nicknames instead of numbers, or they did a number with like a nickname like Redemption or Revenge. It's like the title of the pay-per-view card. And he went to like one of those. It's like, damn, he's an OG fan. But he was like, yeah, I've never seen a crowd this packed before the like fucking prelims, or like for the prelims before the main card. So I was like, fuck yeah, Atlanta showed up and showed out. But that was fucking dope. There's some good finishes, good scraps. I had a great time. I broke my 2-week non-drinking streak, and boy was it worth it. Had some White Claws, then had some Bud Lights, some BLs. And I think BLs are making a comeback. You know, I stopped drinking beer a little bit. But I think I'm just going to be. I think high noons are technically the best. I think ideally I would have like 1 or 2 high noons, 1 or 2 Bud Lights. You know, I'm not quite sure. I haven't quite figured it out. Or maybe I'll just do one or the other. Technically, high noons are the healthiest of what I like to drink. But at the pace I drink, maybe it would be better to do Bud Light. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. Not quite sure. Because I think they're about the same alcohol content, but one's vodka versus beer, which I think counts for something. I don't know. I'm not a hops scientist or an alcohol scientist. But if I had to guess, there's something there. But yeah, the UFC was sick. That's all I really wanted to say. Because I almost didn't go. I was like, man, I wish this card was a little more stacked. Because last time they came, it was they had Poirier versus Max Holloway too, and they had Adesanya versus Gastelum, which was already in the Hall of Fame. It's a Hall of Fame fight, and I was like, fuck, man. I think that was when I was in college, and I just didn't have. I don't know what was up. I guess I just maybe I wasn't. If I was in college, I wasn't financially in a position to where I could afford that. Probably. Um, Maybe nobody wanted to go. I can't even remember. I don't even remember where I watched it. I remember watching it though. Maybe I went to Atlanta and just watched it with my homies, or maybe I just watched it here in Auburn. I can't remember. But Atlanta came back 6 years later, I think, last weekend, and I was like, I'm getting tickets, and got 2 of my buddies in. That was the thing. I was like, I want to go with at least like I went with my wife the first time. I don't want to just pull up to it. I mean, I could pull up to a fight solo. I'd I'd be fine. And and especially there, you always end up talking to people around you because like everyone likes MMA. Like we even got to a pregame of like a guy I've met before, and like his friends were all going to the fights, and I didn't know any of them, but we had a great time just talking about fights and odds beforehand. I was like, yeah, dude, if I'm in an arena or at a party with people that like UFC and MMA, we're gonna have a great convo. Like we're gonna be talking like we've known each other our whole lives because we're the same dude. You know, that's how I always feel about when I see people that are into like combat sports or combat sports first and comedy. Um, or like if they're fans of like comedians that I'm fans of, like I can tell they kind of have like a similar taste. I'm just like, dude, we're the same. I understand you, brother. I might not know you yet, but I understand you. That's what brings us together, dude. Combat sports and comedy. And cats. It's the three C's. Combat sports, comedy, and cats. Animals in general. Animals in general. But just in this specific period of my life, it's cats. So those are the animals that I have right now. But growing up, it was dogs. But I'm into animals. How you treat animals says a lot to me. Like if you're like best homies with your pet, I fuck with you. But if you just treat your pet like it's a fucking lawn ornament or fucking decoration in your house, and you don't really have like that real connection with them. Some people claim like they're like, "Oh man, I really loved my pet." And I was like, "Nah, I'm not going to say that, but I'm not going to deny anyone their connection to their animal." But some people just like really like I get home and I like the first thing I always do is pet my cats. I'm like, "What's up?" Checking in on the homies. They come greet me at the door. That's one thing I try to do is like also uh because I'll be like either thinking about something or stressed out or like caught up, you know, when I walk in the door from like work or something. And I try not to like just blow past my cats because like they've been just chilling around the house all day, like just sleeping or bored or just like me coming home is a big deal to them, you know? So it's like if they come up to the door to greet me, if they're not still sleeping somewhere, I always try to like, be like, "What's up?" Just to appreciate them, show them affection and love because we have a bond. And that should apply to you as a boyfriend, husband, or father as well. When you get home from work, um, a lot of people just want to sit down on the couch and turn on the TV and put on Sports Center or something like that. Insert whatever you are thinking you're gonna do when you get home. But you should always greet your significant other if they're home or your children. If your children are like, "Hey, Dad, you're home. What's up?" You should be like, "Oh, how you doing? How was your day, Jonathan?" "Oh, hey, honey. How was your day?" Kiss on the cheek as she's cooking or doing dishes or something. Not to not to insert a stereotype. Just saying, perhaps in this scenario, this lady is very helpful around the house. That's just how I pictured the scenario. But yeah, you should don't let your stress or thoughts from work or other shit affect how you respond when you walk through the door to your children to your wife, or to your pets, because they're excited to see you and they love you. So you shouldn't just be lost in something a stressful thought about work. It's like leave work at work, okay, and leave whatever outside stresses you have wherever they need to be. You're home. You're safe. You're with people that love you. So show them that love back. Be present. Be present in the moment. It's good advice. If you made it this far, you got it. Um. All right. I'm just gonna close with some training stuff. Um. It's probably the least interesting part of the podcast for most. If you're not into strength and conditioning or health and wellness protocols, sorry, bro. You can go ahead and cut it off here. I think I delivered a decent amount, but this stuff is important to me. I think investing in your health in general, your health and wellness, is like it's just like investing financially. It's like each workout, all my healthy habits are me just putting dollars away into some form of high yield investment, or just something that appreciates over time or pays dividends. Like people always say, "Oh man, it's paying dividends." It's like that's literally I'm getting something out of this. Operating, like being in great physical shape is, I mean, it's the best, man. I try to like really explain it, but it's like you're operating at like the most optimal level. And it's like, could I always be in better shape? Of course. I'm 235 pounds. That's a little heavy. I'm pretty lean. Like I would say I'm probably, I mean, I'm not like crazy body fat. I'm probably like 10 to 15%. I would say. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not even sure what a good estimate is. I'm not carrying a lot of like body fat at all. I do kind of want to get a DEXA scan or whatever it's called, because I bet my bone mass is crazy just from years of lifting and running. Because your bones get dense as shit over time from running increases bone density. Um, Lifting weights increases bone density. My bones are dense, dog. I'm talking dense ass bones. But I do kind of want to get a DEXA scan. I'm always looking to throw money at some stupid thing to do more about my health or get healthier. I just started a monthly subscription that's like $220. It's like 5 different supplements. But for bundling 5, I got 30% off all of them. So really like $220 is only 70% of what I would be paying for each 5 individually. But it's like methylated B6, B12, NMN, a super greens mix. Maybe I talked about this last time. I think I did talk about this in the last episode. But yeah, I'm spending like on just supplements and recovery, dog. I'm spending easily probably like $6,000 a year. Like I'm probably spending $500 a month at least, if I had to guess. But it's worth it to me. If I can afford that for my it pays dividends. Like I could always cut back on some supplement stuff. Um, the workouts are the most important, but supplementation is like I can always wean it down to what's most necessary. Be like a multivitamin, probiotic, and creatine, and some protein, and a pre-workout. So if I could just narrow it down to those 5, I'd be pretty fine, probably. But I'm taking other stuff like fish oil plus CoQ10, um, turmeric, liver support stuff, digestion stuff, greens, because I don't eat a crazy amount of vegetables. So I try to get greens supplemented. I also got a methylated B6 and methylated B12, the methylated versions of those vitamins, and NMN, which is for DNA, cell, energy, and health, which it's like longevity. Yep. And magnesium L-threonate for sleep. I think I'm always going to keep that too. I think that would be one of the most necessary ones. But I also swapped some stuff out. So like next month, I got some activate or functional mushrooms coming. So it's like a lion's mane, reishi, turkey tail, stuff like that. Maybe I'll take some other kinds of mushrooms too next month. You never know. Some mental health mushrooms. Maybe. I'm definitely going to be taking functional mushrooms, like lion's mane, reishi, and turkey tail. And what was the other one I did? Oh yeah, I got the heart health one, which has some heart health supplements in it, and I think there was one other one I swapped out. I can't remember. But yeah, I got something else, but I can't remember it. But yeah, I've got dense ass bones. I train pretty well rounded. Um, like I want to be able to run with endurance athletes. You know, people that run like competitive runs. You know, whatever, like 5Ks, half marathons, marathons. I want to be able to like if I was to meet that guy, down the street and we're gonna go run through a neighborhood, I can run. Like, what you want to do? You want to do 10 miles? Bet. Let's do it. So I can run with an endurance athlete. I walk into a weight room, like a powerlifting room. There's powerlifters there. I can move decent ass weight. When it comes to like, I'm not like squatting, benching, deadlifting any crazy numbers. But I'm very well rounded strength wise, and I'm I would say I'm not like an considered expert level lifts, but very respectable for someone that doesn't. I only let myself lift to like a certain threshold. Like, I mean, last week I deadlifted 420 twice. Um, the most I've done is like 500 something for a set of 2 on a hex bar deadlift. Low handles, not the ones that have the handles that come up. It's a flat bar. There's no handles that come up, so it's an extra distance. And I benched like 275 for 5 reps with the slingshot on to protect my shoulders. So I mean, I'm very respectably strong. So I can lift with guys that power lift and lift frequently easily. So I can run with endurance athletes. I can lift with guys that are power lifters or diesel ass strength training dudes. And I can walk into a gym and I can spar with professional fighters. I'm skilled at combat sports. Yoga. I could walk into a yoga studio and I could do yoga because I do mobility and stretching work. You know, I'm very well rounded. I'm training as a whole. You know, I want to be able to run with endurance athletes, lift with power lifters, fight with professional fighters, and stretch with the yogis. I'm also doing all kinds of other shit for breathing exercises. Um, I'll go through my this schedule I'm on right now is maybe one of my favorite rotations that I've ever done. So I'll do like a Monday to Sunday type deal. So that's kind of how I visualize it. Is like Sunday is the last day, and then it resets to on Monday. But my Monday is 2 workouts in the morning. Diesel ass strength training workout, compound lifts. We're talking bench, we're talking trap bar deadlift, and we're talking pull-ups. Those are like the main movements. When it comes to the working sets, I do like 5 sets of all of those. But there is some warm up like goblet squats and warm up bench press and warm up band pull aparts and stuff like that. But I'm doing like pretty heavy 5x5. But as I'm working up, like I kind of work up the first 3 5s, and then I do a set of 10 on like kind of like the heaviest weight I could do 10 reps on. Like maybe I could do 11 or 12 reps if I gave it everything I fucking had. For bench and trap bar deadlift. For pull-ups, I just do 5x5 because I do like a set of I do like my set on trap bar, my set on bench, and then my set on pull-ups, and then I do trap bar, bench, pull-ups, trap bar, bench, pull-ups, trap bar, bench, pull-ups. That's the main working set. I do that 5. So that's the main lifting session of the weekend because I do like that's where I'm doing compound lifts. That's the heaviest weight I do. I don't really lift crazy weight. Like I try to do my working sets of 10 for trap bar on like 300 to 350 at most. Maybe 400 if I'm feeling crazy. And then bench, it's like 225 to 250, 275 if I'm feeling crazy. But my wife just got home. Hold on one second. I just told her I'm recording a podcast. So the first workout on Monday is heavy ass compound lifts, mainly focusing on like bench, deadlift, trap bar deadlift, and pull-ups. Then my second workout is when I get home from work. I do like I kind of focus more on like it's like an upper body extremities workout. So it's like a burnout on basically I do kettlebells bottoms up shoulder press with like 20s. I do 10 sets of 10 just to hit the shoulders and the forearms because that's such a good grip strength workout. Trying to hold kettlebells upside down while doing shoulder press is very good for your hand strength, forearm strength, and shoulders. If you want to focus more on shoulders, you could just do a traditional shoulder press, but you can't really load up like go pick up a 20-pound, go pick up 30s are the hard ones for me. I can only do like maybe a set of 5 on that, and then I have to stop for a minute. And it's hard for me to do a lot of sets of that because 30s are so hard to stabilize holding them upside down. But I can do 20s for 10 sets of 10. Like it's moderate. It's not crazy hard. I might have like 1 or 2 reps towards the last couple of sets where like the kettlebell kind of just flips and I have to like start that rep over and like put like not put them down but like restart, get back in the starting position. So I do like 10 sets of 10 with that, and then I do 2 sets of 50 on resistance band curls and resistance band tricep, kind of like a push down pull apart, and I just have like a 25-pound resistance band, and just doing sets of 50 on that, dude. That's the only like arm workout I work. My arms get worked out from like your triceps get worked out doing bench, and your biceps get worked out doing pull ups. But I like to just smoke them with just these resistance band workouts on my second workout on Monday after doing my shoulder work. And then did I do a set of dead or no, I didn't do dead hangs because the bottoms up kettlebell press, that's good enough for grip. And then Tuesday I do abs. I do like a 10-15 minute ab workout, which is like I grab a 10-pound plate, do full sit-ups and Russian twists with it. I do a set of 50 sit-up. I kind of break it up. I do like 20, 15, 15. So I'll do like 20, 15, 15 with the 10-pound plate sit-ups and Russian twists. And then I'll go over to the pull-up bar and do 50 knee raise twists, but I do 25 each side. So like every time I lift my knees to the left or to the right, I count it as like 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. And I do 25 each side. And then I grab a 36-pound kettlebell and I do oblique side leans where you like kind of like you're holding a suitcase, and then you like it's like a suitcase carry kind of grip where you have the kettlebell next to the side of your leg and you reach down and I kind of touch it to the outside of my calf, and kind of just works the obliques. And then I go back and do another set of 20, 15, 15, 10-pound sit-ups and 10-pound Russian twists. And each turn is always, every time I do something one-sided, each side is half the rep, basically. So like when I say I'm doing 50 Russian twists, it's 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Or that one's actually yeah. So basically I'm doing both sides is 1 rep. I guess the way I'm doing the yeah. All right. So I'm getting way too in the weeds with this. It's just an ab workout. All right. I just do abs for my first workout of the day on Tuesday. My second workout of the day on Tuesday is typically I just jump rope for 10 minutes. Because I feel like I need to kind of like smoke my calves, kind of like how I smoked my arms the day before. And then Wednesday is a functional movements strength training. So it's like single arm, single leg workouts, unilateral day. This is stuff that really transfers to athletic movements, single leg movements, lunges, single leg Romanian deadlifts into step ups. I do that like in one motion. It's a single leg RDL into a single leg step up with a high knee at the end, kind of like I'm throwing a knee. That's a great movement. I love that movement. And some lunges, multi-directional, forward, side, and back. And I also do Bulgarian split squats. And then the upper body stuff is like single arm, landmine punch press with single arm kettlebell rows with a heavy dumbbell, and single arm med ball push throws at the heavy bag. I grab like a 10-pound medicine ball and act like I'm throwing a like a right hand or a left hand at the heavy bag. And I'm just like throwing it in like a punch form. These all translate phenomenally. It's all single leg, single arm stuff, unilateral training. First workout of the day on Wednesday. Second workout of the day on Wednesday typically is a 30-minute boxing session, which is 6 5-minute nonstop rounds. So there's no breaks in between. It's 30 minutes straight. You never stop working. And it's 5 minutes on the double end bag, 5 minutes on the heavy bag. And it's just high volume because you can't sprint like I do on Saturdays. Like if you see the bag work clips, Usually that's a sprint, and I will turn up the heat in parts, but I have to really conserve the tank because I'm going for 30 minutes straight. But I can actually put out a good amount of output for like consistently working for 30 minutes. And that workout actually makes me feel the best. Like I'm soaked after that workout. Just 30 minutes. I go 5 minutes double end bag, 5 minutes heavy bag, 5 minutes double end bag, 5 minutes heavy bag, 5 minutes double end bag, 5 minutes heavy bag. And after that 30 minutes, dude, I feel like I'm on cloud nine. I feel high. It's amazing. It's such a good release. So that's my second workout of the day. And then Thursday, usually I do like a maintenance training, which is like I do like my iron neck stuff for neck strength, and then I'll do shoulder health, basically like shoulder rehab exercises for my like rotator cuffs and shoulder health, and I'll do some knee and ankle movements, kind of like some knees over toes stuff to make sure I have like range of motion in my knees and ankles as well as like flexibility. And I like to do controlled articulated rotations, which is kind of like you kind of spin your ankle around. Like you spin your foot around to where like you're rotating the entire 360 degrees range of motion for your ankle. And same thing with your wrists. You can do it with your wrists. Same thing with your shoulders. You basically just like spin around each joint in like a not like a crazy way, in like a methodical way to really, you know, iron out the mobility and that range of motion for that joint. It's best for like the feet, the hips, the shoulders, and the wrists. The knees, you know what? I haven't really done shit for my elbows. I kind of have like tendonitis in my elbow. I'm not quite sure what I need to do about that, but I'll look into it. The knee stuff, I just do some like knees over toes stuff, and the for my neck, I do iron neck, strengthen my neck muscles to stabilize them. So that's kind of just like a fortifying the joints, strengthening the joints, tendons, and stabilizers and everything that's keeps everything together, you know. Um, and then Friday is sorry, skipped it. That was the first workout of Thursday. Second workout of Thursday is running outside, weather permitting. I think if I can't go run like a 5K, I'll shadow box maybe in my garage. Shadow boxing is a great movement, just working on, you know, feints, movements, and setups. That's the best way to train like how you operate in the fight, you know. If you're really smart about it, you know what you're doing. That's how you really structure your how you set things up and how you're fucking with your opponent with feints, gathering information on how they respond to how you move, practicing feints, making them look like somewhat believable, and setting up like movements and setups and traps to where like I step in with a little feint, and off of that feint I can throw this combo. So like you're chaining things together. Throwing this combo, backing up, faking like you're coming back in, backing up, little feint, and then rip, you know. Feint, back up, rip, you know, just setting shit up, you know, just being creative. That's the fun part about fighting. So I'll do that if I can't run, but I think I'll run because I got my boxing workout in the second workout on Wednesday. So this will just be like a chill cardio session, which shadow boxing is pretty chill too, but I think it is. I think running will supersede that. because I already did my combat training the day before. And then Friday is just like yoga mobility stuff. So child's pose, all the greatest hits. Don't want to go through the whole yoga workout. It doesn't really take me that long, and I force myself to like Friday is my yoga day, so I have to do some sort of stretches. Usually, I'm pretty fucking burned after 4 days of 2 workouts a day. Like, I need that Friday just to kind of like stretch it out, recover. That's my only workout is yoga, mobility, and recovery. And then Saturday is just bag work. So I get on the bag, and that's high intensity, heavy bag work. That's my playground day. That's when I do whatever the fuck I want on the heavy bag. Go ham. Do some sprints in there too. That's fun. And then Sunday is a run and ice bath for recovery. And maybe an Epsom salt bath too if I feel like it. So that's like 10 or that's 11 workouts per week. It's doing 2 a days Monday through Thursday. And then 1 workout a day Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's a lot, but I'm seeing the benefits of it, dude. I'm getting like pretty jacked. And I think I'm this I like this too cuz it all works out perfectly. Like we're doing heavy lifting early in the week to where like I'm sore, and then like a couple days later after my sore day, like cuz I kind of smoke my upper body and my legs Monday and Tuesday, and then like Tuesday I kind of smoke my abs and my calves kind of from jumping rope. Because my calves really don't get tore up on Monday's workout. It's mainly like my thighs and like glutes and hip flexors. So Tuesday I get my calves. I smoke them like I smoked my arms, my second workout on Monday. So I've kind of hit everything after the first 2 days. And then I do like functional single arm sports, stuff that transfers into like athletic movements, unilateral lifting, followed by boxing conditioning. So very, very athletic day Wednesday. And then Thursday, we focus on joints, neck, shoulders, knees, just protecting the stuff that needs to be protected. Followed by a run. And then we're stretching. And then we're chilling on Friday, stretching. And then we go ham on Saturday a little bit. And then we go for a little jog on Sunday, followed by ice bath and Epsom salt bath to get ready for Monday's lifts. Back to the 2 a days. It's paying off, man. It's tough, but growth comes from pain and suffering. Suffering brings wisdom, and pain is a path of changing. It's an opportunity to change mentally and physically. That's the only way you can mutate or have any adaptation, is going through something that you have to sharpen yourself against the grindstone if you want to become a weapon. And you get something out of it, man. I'm telling you. It pays dividends. So get to it. Get to working out. And on Thursdays, I also do dead hangs. I forgot to say that. Go do some dead hangs. And I'll catch you guys next week on the next episode of the TKO podcast. I'm going to go eat some dinner. Love you guys. Bye.